Mario and Shane in the morning on a Wednesday. And Shane, have you got anything in traffic so far? Is it still pretty quiet?
Haven't had any calls yet. Keep in mind, 270 is still under construction. Now's about the time where the delays really start happening and traffic starts backing up, especially if you're heading from Vogelway Housing or Kaiserslautern trying to get on the Autobahns. If you see something, we'd like to know. The number's 489-6353 or 0631-536-6353.
All right, thanks, Shane. We're talking to Colonel Brian DeCoster, the commander of the U.S. Army Garrison Baden-Württemberg, and James Miller, a Force Protection Officer with the U.S. Army Garrison Kaiserslautern, inside the KMC this morning. And it's August, or at least it will be tomorrow, and that means it's the Army's Anti-Terrorism Awareness Month. And we'll start with you, Colonel DeCoster. We hear a lot about AT awareness, we hear a lot about anti-terrorism awareness, but what's the most important things for folks to keep in mind?
Well, I think the most important thing is that we recognize suspicious activity and report it through iWatch. iWatch Army is a community program that really helps our neighborhoods stay safe from terrorist activities. And it's not just our neighborhoods, but it's really any place you live, work, or play. So anyone can report behaviors and activities that make them feel uncomfortable and don't look right. iWatch Army is a program and a partnership between your community and your local law enforcement. We simply ask you to report behavior and activities that are unusual or seem out of the ordinary.
All right. Now let's talk to James Miller, who's with us. Like I said, he's the U.S. Army Garrison Kaiserslautern Force Protection Officer. Welcome back, James. We haven't seen you in a while. How you been?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, glad to have you back.
This morning.
What types of things, we always talk about things that don't quite look right or things that feel a little bit off. What types of things would be a little bit off? What types of things should people be looking for?
Well, we sit there and ask people, hey, if it stands out and doesn't look right to you, especially to a lot of our military members, you've been overseas before, you're coming on back, you're stationed over here in Germany now, and you see something that just doesn't look right, it probably isn't right. Some of the things that even our civilian community, you've got people out there that are drawing and measuring important buildings, pacing off distances in between buildings, strangers asking you questions about security or security force procedures, people that have just abandoned stuff, a briefcase, a suitcase, or a backpack that's just been left behind, people that cars or trucks that have just been left in no parking zone, especially around sensitive or critical areas, and then they just abandon them. Personnel found in secured areas that just aren't even supposed to be there. A person wearing clothing big and bulky, too hot for the weather, especially since we've got some pretty hot weather here lately. Here's another one that just happened on one of our installations. People standing on the outside of the installation perimeter taking photographs of the airfield. Just doesn't, whether they think it's right or wrong, we let our security forces deal with that. If you have, or people ask you questions about sensitive information, such as a building blueprint, the security plans, or VIP travel schedules without the need to know. If they don't need to know it, we don't need to be telling them that. And one of the last things is people that purchase supplies or equipment that are being used to make bombs or weapons. I actually had this happen here the other day. People purchasing large amounts of uniform, and maybe they have the right credentials or maybe not. It's important.
Okay.
That's it.
Now, when you say, a lot of folks say follow your instinct when you have that thing you see that just doesn't seem like it's the right thing to happen. Should folks do that? Should folks go, hey, look, I'm going to go ahead and make the call here?
Well, this isn't like it was several years ago where people are like, hey, you need to mind your own business. It's all of our business now. We're overseas. There is a threat out there. We tell people all the time, trust your instincts. If it doesn't feel right, you need to report it. If your senses, it's part of your everyday life, something just all of a sudden slaps you in the face, you feel the hair on the back of your neck stand on up, or somebody's just not behaving right, their activity just makes you very uncomfortable, report it. Let law enforcement deal with it. They're the professionals on that. They deal with this on an everyday activity.
All right. And that is James Miller, Force Protection Officer for the U.S. Army Garrison Kaiserslautern.